There is a truth about personal growth that we don't often speak about in polite company. One of the hardest parts of personal growth is realizing you may outgrow certain people. When you evolve, some dynamics shift. You are growing, you are changing. As you ascend into the woman you are becoming, you'll notice something profound and sometimes unsettling. The landscape of your relationships is shifting right under your feet. This isn't a sign of failure. It is not a betrayal of the past or the people who walked beside you. It is a fundamental, unavoidable part of a life fully lived. A life marked by intentional growth and self-discovery. Realizing you may have outgrown certain people is not a judgment on them, nor is it a judgment on you. It doesn't diminish the memories or the love you shared. It is simply an acknowledgement of your own evolution. You are honoring the person you are today, and the person you are striving to be tomorrow. This process can feel messy and complicated. There's no clean break, no simple instruction manual. It can bring up feelings of guilt, sadness, and a little bit of fear. A deep-seated loyalty might make you question if you're being selfish or unkind. Who will I be without this person? What will they think of me? Will I be left all alone on this new path? But on the other side of that discomfort is a profound sense of alignment and integrity. It's a quiet strength that comes from living in accordance with your own inner truth. It's the feeling of finally stepping into a version of yourself that feels true and whole, unburdened by roles you've outgrown. It's like being in a dance with someone you've known for years. You both know the steps by heart. The rhythm is comfortable, familiar, safe. But one day, you hear a new song, a melody that resonates with your soul, and your feet start to move to a different rhythm. Your old partner may try to keep up, or they may stumble, or they may simply want to keep dancing the old dance. They might not even hear the new music you're hearing. Neither of you is wrong. You are just no longer moving in sync. The shared choreography no longer fits. Perhaps you have always been the listener, the emotional anchor for your friends. But as you grow, you learn to set boundaries and prioritize your well-being. You are no longer available to be on call 24/7. Your energy is a finite, precious resource you've learned to protect. Or perhaps you were the fun one, the life of the party. Now you are exploring deeper parts of yourself and can't always play the jester. You crave quiet nights and meaningful conversations over loud clubs. Your goals and your use of time are powerful agents of change. They are the architects of your new reality. Imagine going back to school or launching a new business. Evenings and weekends that were once free now fill with studying, writing papers, or building your dream. Spontaneous coffee dates and long meandering phone calls evaporate, not from a lack of love, but from a shift in priority and capacity. Friends not on a similar path might feel neglected or confused. They may interpret your focus as rejection. This divergence is natural. It's rarely a dramatic explosion. More often, it's a slow and quiet drift, like two ships silently charting different courses in the night. Conversations feel strained. You find yourself editing your thoughts, holding back your excitement about new passions, because they aren't shared. You have less in common to talk about. Time together leaves you feeling drained instead of energized. You feel a sense of obligation rather than genuine connection. Recognizing this divergence is not an act of judgment. It is an act of observation. It is seeing with clarity, not with criticism. A moment of clarity lets you see the relationship for what it is now, not what it once was, or what you hoped it would be. The first step is always the hardest, and it begins with a small, powerful truth you tell yourself. One of the most challenging parts of growth is recognizing you may outgrow people you love. That doesn't mean the love wasn't real, or that the bond wasn't precious. It simply means you have changed, and in honoring your own journey, you must allow the landscape of your life to change too. When our growth puts us out of sync with the people around us, we feel the heavy weight of misalignment. It's a subtle but persistent friction, a sense that the connections that once felt effortless now require a constant, tiring effort. It shows up in small, draining moments that accumulate over time, like a slow leak in your energy reserves. It's the feeling of constantly translating yourself, editing your stories to be palatable. You find yourself omitting details about a new spiritual practice or a business breakthrough because you anticipate a blank stare or a dismissive comment. You downplay a recent success because a friend is struggling, shrinking your joy to make room for their pain. Each act of self-censorship is a tiny betrayal of your truth, and it's exhausting. It's a silent agreement to stay small, to remain the person they are comfortable with, not the person you are becoming. Your former cheerleaders are silent or critical. They still see the old you, and your evolution feels like a rejection of the past you shared. Imagine running a marathon with a backpack full of rocks. That's what it feels like to carry misaligned relationships. The precious energy you need for building your business, healing your body, or learning a new skill gets spent managing difficult dynamics and navigating conversations that leave you feeling depleted. You end up walking when you could be running, playing small when you are ready to stand tall. Sometimes people are simply in different places on their journey. It's not a judgment, but an observation. Your growth might threaten their comfort, reflecting back to them a path they haven't taken. You are not responsible for managing their fear or their reaction to your light. The weight of misalignment is a signal. Something needs to change. It's your soul's way of telling you that your current environment no longer fits. Once you acknowledge misalignment, the next step requires a different kind of strength, the courage to create space. This often feels daunting because it involves action, and we fear that action will cause pain or conflict. But creating space rarely needs a dramatic confrontation. It's a series of small, intentional choices that recalibrate the relationship to a new, more honest level. It is the conscious decision to protect your energy, an act of profound self-respect. It's choosing your own peace over someone else's comfort. Think of it not as cutting someone out, but as lovingly adjusting the container of the relationship so it can hold the truth of who you both are now. A close daily friendship can become one where you connect every few months, with the same love but a different frequency. For many women, we are taught to smooth things over, to accommodate, to be the emotional caretaker in our relationships. Choosing space is a gentle rebellion against this conditioning. It's a declaration that says, my peace, my energy, and my growth are not negotiable. So how do you begin? Start by being less available. Not ghosting, but gently reclaiming your time. Take longer to reply to texts. Politely decline draining invitations. You might say, thank you so much for thinking of me, but I won't be able to make it. No elaborate excuse is needed. A clear, kind boundary is sufficient. Over time, the rhythm of the interaction naturally changes. A new, more honest equilibrium is established, one that honors your needs. If a direct conversation is necessary, use I statements to own your feelings without placing blame. I feel discouraged when I share my excitement, and it's met with criticism. For my own well-being, I need to protect my energy around my goals. Hold space for their feelings with compassion, but don't absorb them. You can be kind in your delivery while remaining firm in your resolve. This isn't about being cold, it's about being clear. We often convince ourselves that holding on is the kinder choice, a sign of loyalty. But in reality, holding on too tightly can cause far more harm than letting go. Unspoken resentments and quiet frustrations slowly poison the connection, creating a distance that feels heavier than any goodbye. Think of it like wearing shoes that don't fit. At first you might ignore the pinch, but eventually, every single step becomes painful. Letting go is like finally taking them off. The immediate relief and freedom arrive, reminding you what it feels like to move without pain. There might be a tender moment of sadness for what's ending, but it's followed by the expansive space to finally breathe again. When you aren't your authentic self in a relationship, you deny the other person a chance to connect with the real you. By holding on out of guilt or obligation, you occupy a space that could be filled by someone truly aligned with them, and with you. So, let go with gratitude. Thank them for the lessons and the love, for what was, and then seek new counsel that fits who you're becoming. Letting go does not require a scorched earth policy of anger and blame. It can be quiet, graceful, and deeply compassionate. The most powerful changes often happen not through dramatic confrontation, but through subtle shifts in your availability and engagement. Be clear and direct about what you need. Act from a place of firm kindness, not from anger or blame. If they're hurt or confused, hold compassion for their feelings. But you are not responsible for changing your boundary to soothe their discomfort. This is the art of letting go with care. Be kind in your delivery, but be firm in your resolve. Honor your own truth while allowing others the dignity of their own reaction. It is a delicate dance, offering compassion for them, while maintaining a fierce, unwavering loyalty to yourself. As you create space, you open room for new energy to flow into your life. This is the empowering part, intentionally choosing your circle of support. Growth doesn't happen in a vacuum. We all need allies, people who see our potential, celebrate wins, and offer a steady hand. It's not about perfect people. It's about alignment with your forward direction. Aligned people listen with curiosity. Their eyes light up at your small victories. They ask thoughtful questions and respect your time. Get clear on your values: creativity, financial stability, physical health, spiritual connection. Go where aligned people already are. Entrepreneur groups, wellness classes, community clubs. It takes vulnerability. Introduce yourself. Share a piece of your story. Extend an invitation. Start small. Invite a classmate for coffee. Propose a collaboration. Thank someone who inspired you. Small acts of reaching out are seeds. From them, community grows. You deserve people who reflect your aspirations, not just your history. Focus on people who support your direction. Choose alignment. Build your circle with intention. Let your environment elevate your standards, your habits, your results. Your future thrives in aligned company. In the end, this journey is not about betrayal. It is about evolution. To grow is to change, to sometimes move in a different direction from those we love. Hold the beautiful memories. Acknowledge the season has passed. Feel sadness and excitement for the future. Your growth is not a weapon. It is a gift to yourself. Choose a life that fits who you are today. You do not need to apologize for wanting more or for dreaming bigger. This is your one precious, wild journey. Be its faithful steward. Make the brave choice to let go of what holds you back. Keep moving forward, one step at a time. The world needs the version of you that you are becoming. Remember, you are allowed to outgrow people. You are allowed to choose alignment. Be brave. Be kind to yourself and others. Grow fully. Growth isn't betrayal, it's evolution. If this resonated, subscribe for more tools on discipline, financial growth, and personal development. And take one brave step today.